The Great Khali defeated Salvatore Bellomo. Moving on, but his next round, it doesn't get easy because Brian Adams, a.k.a. Crush, knocked off Paul Roma. So you're going to have the 7'4" former world champion Great Khali taking on the 6'10" Brian Adams.
I'm going to go Brian Adams in this matchup because I don't think it's right to have a former world champion in a jobbers tournament, even though Great Khali is a jobber.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go Brian Adams.
There was one. Did we have Giant Gonzalez in here?
We
did.
We might have. Yeah, I think we did.
I don't remember. We did. That would have been a good fight.
Yeah.
7'4" versus 7'6". God, it would have been the boringest match ever. It was Drew McIntyre defeating the Russian Bear Boris Zukov. Moving on to the next round, where it saw the Red Rooster, Terry Taylor, knocking off Mario Mancini, setting up Red Rooster versus Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre has so much talent and shouldn't even be close to a jobbers tournament, as you're seeing in his independent stretch right now. I'm going to go Red Rooster in this matchup because, again, I may be picking opposite of what some people are picking because I'm picking for people who belong in the jobbers tournament rather than people who have no business in this tournament. So I'm going to go Red Rooster.
I would go Red Rooster because, I grew up watching Terry Taylor with, WCW and WCCW,
yep.
NWA. Terry Taylor was a great wrestler.
He was.
Great wrestler. I mean...
But WWE doesn't see that.
When you go to that countdown on the network,
yeah,
and you look at the top 20 worst or top 10 worst
gimmicks,
and Red Rooster's top 3,
yeah,
and me and Gene Okerlund's if you ever ask Terry Taylor if he liked that gimmick, he'll tell you go F yourself. I mean, it was. Terry Taylor will say all the right things, like, oh, he got used to it, blah, blah, blah. But once he turned heel, it wasn't funny anymore.
Yeah.
How are you going to be a heel rooster? You came into the fans as a face Red Rooster, the spiked red hair, the kids love you, they're doing the dances in the front row.
Wait, you're talking about Sheamus?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, right? When he shouldn't have turned heel. It's one of those characters that belongs as a face gimmick.
And he wound up in the Heenan family, and then of course he kicked Keenan to the curb. And
yeah,
it was terrible. It really was. But to recap, our Elite Eight.
Elite Eight,
if you want to call it that. The Red Rooster takes on Drew McIntyre. Brian Adams takes on the Great Khali. Leaping Lanny Poffo takes on the Brooklyn Brawler. And Iron Mike Sharp takes on Santino Marella. Another, it's sad because the next round could be another one that people would love to be a final, which would be Sharp versus Brawler.
Yep.
And it's not going to happen because they're in the same bracket. So I'm going to go with in the finals. I'm going to go with the Great Khali versus the Brooklyn Brawler.
I'm going to go Brooklyn Brawler and Terry Taylor.
Terry Taylor.
That's going to be my finals.
All right. It's not a bad finals. It's a really bad finals.
Depends on which way you want to word that.
It's a
very bad finals, but
it's the jobbers tournament. It's supposed to be bad. It's just too bad. It's really, really bad.
Help us come up with ideas for our next tournament, guys. We're getting down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah,
here, so
this one was really out of nowhere.
We
were just hey,
we don't know.
Can we come up with 64 guys that really sucked? And lo and behold, we did. And we found 64 guys that were really terrible. Thank God for the internet.
Yeah, we've done so many tournaments that I don't know what's left for us to do. There's got to be something left for us to do. But help us out, guys. Come up with. Facebook message us, post on our Facebook page,
Twitter, something. Just give us top whatever,
We'll do 32.
Yeah, 32 or 64. That's the two quantities. It just makes it, so nobody gets any buys or anything like that.
Yeah, just the top. You don't have to give us a list. Just give us a topic, and we'll try and come up with a list.
You can even I don't even care if it's a WWE countdown one because we can come up with more outside WWE.
Yeah.
We'll come up with
maybe do a WCW focused. tournament or
You
something
do
like that.
WCW, NWA focused one, WCCW.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, I don't know. It just
There's so many tournaments that we've done already that like my brain is.
I don't even want to do like we already did 2 intercontinental tournaments, so we're not even due for another one. But like we can't even do like a retake on the world champions because since we done that, there's only been one different
champion,
and that was Daniel Bryan. Because Brock Lesnar already had the title.
Seth Rollins is on that list now, though.
Oh, Seth Rollins, yeah, so 2.
So 2.
So Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan was a world champion.
Yeah, he was a world champion.
So it's just
already.
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins is the only difference.
Yeah, because Daniel Bryan was a world champion. Brock Lesnar was already a world champion. Randy Orton was already a world champion. So and John Cena.
Yeah. Have we done top 64 like greatest wrestlers or?
Yeah. We done that.
I don't know.
Yeah, we did technical.
I know we did technical.
We did technical. We did big men. The big men tournament, which Andre the Giant won. We did the best of the golden era.
Yep.
Which Andre the Giant won that one as well.
He's the only 2-time champion we have.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'll tell you exactly.
I'm curious what tournaments we've done because we need to get some more ideas right now.
Starting from the bottom. We've done the Intercontinental Championship Tournament. We've done the World Tag Team Championship Tournament. Mm-hmm. We've done the Managers Tournament, Stables Tournament, the Best of the Golden Era Tournament, All-Time Technical Wrestlers, Greatest Big Men in Wrestling, Greatest WWF Winged Eagle Champions, Greatest to Never Win a WWE Heavyweight Title. Yep. Greatest Female Wrestlers, Intercontinental Championship 2, which had 72, all 72 winners of the belt.
Yep. Greatest Jobbers.
And then the Greatest Jobbers in Wrestling.
Gosh. Yeah. I don't know what's left.
Is anybody even get added to that Intercontinental since then? Because when we did it, I think Miz was the champion at the time.
Barrett was a champion.
Barrett's already been a champion.
Dolph has already been a champion. Well, no, Daniel Bryan.
Because
Daniel Bryan's
he's number 73.
Yeah, I think that's the only change to that belt.
So we have Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan are the only ones to be added to any of the tournaments. Yeah, so we can't even do another one. I mean,
well, no, tag team championship tournament. We could have added the Masters of the WWE Universe.
Yeah, and Goldust and Stardust.
Yep.
Usos are already on there.
Yeah, so there's 2 added to the tag team title list.
Yeah. I think we just had tag team, greatest tag
team
championship.
It was tag team championship.
Maybe we should just do the top 64 greatest tag teams. Don't have to be a champion.
We could do top 64 greatest tag teams. We could also do non-wrestling, not wrestling in the ring, but we could do top 64 on the mic.
See, 64 is going to be really hard.
Or 32 on the mic.
That's going to even be hard.
All I got to say is Scott Steiner wins.
Oh,
Scott Steiner needs to win that tournament.
The final 4. Scott Steiner, Ultimate Warrior, Sid Vicious, and Bobby Heenan. There you go. When he's angry. Yeah.
But no, maybe top 64 greatest tag teams in general, straight up.
Just tag teams.
Pick the top. We'll pick the top 64 teams ever.
That's gonna be tough.
There's gonna be
because it's like I would say probably 40 of them are gonna come out of the golden era of WWE.
Yep, which is fine. I think that's awesome because I know who I want to win straight up, and that's the Rockers.
Oh God.
One of the best teams to never win a tag team championship.
No, they won.
They technically did when the ring ropes broke.
And then a week later, they were stripped, and everybody's supposed to be dumb, and then whoever showed up to that show is supposed to have amnesia. So
the Rockers, best tag team ever.
Oh man, I don't know about that.
Nah, they're my personal favorite.
I would think the best tag team ever was a tag team that was doomed from the beginning, that was never going to work, but was still the greatest tag team ever. It was the Mega Powers.
Mega Powers, yeah. I mean, I'm personally my favorite ever was the Rockers, and the Hardy Boys were number 2.
But the function of one of my favorite, most functionable, tag teams that wasn't set up for disaster my opinion, I loved the '80s Hart Foundation.
I was just about to say the Hart Foundation is number 3 on my list.
They were great because it was such badasses and heels and everybody just hated them, but they were just so good, and it was a great combination of technical wrestling and power. And even in Anvil wasn't shaped like a bodybuilder. He was just so strong, and it was. And then Demolition, I loved Demolition, and everybody was like, "Oh, they're a poor man, Legion of Doom." Nah, I don't think so.
No,
I think they're totally.
I love Demolition.
Styles.
I love Legion of Doom. I mean, right now we're literally naming off just 10 different teams that are going to be on that list.
Yeah, no more. we gotta keep time restraints here, and
we can go off on crazy rants. We can go off on
tangents, but don't forget next week no show. 2 weeks from now, which is the 26th, we'll be back with Amazing Maria, Indie Star. We'll get in touch with her, make sure she's definitely gonna be on the show. But right now she's penciled in for Amazing Maria. And we'll also have recap from the Superstars of Wrestling from the Lacey show of the promo we just played. And we won't have recap of Warriors of Wrestling from last night. It wasn't given to us. But we will have the interview with Paul London that I got to sit down last night during dinner and interview him while we were eating. So that one is a long interview. We'll edit it, clean it up, try not to get, chewing noises and stuff like that in it, but we'll edit that out because it's about 30 something minutes long. So I don't, we're gonna open up the show with it, but we're gonna try to trim it down. It's about 20 minutes, but it's very very good inside of the business with him and the cruiserweights and his opinion on wrestling now, and he's just very upset that kayfabe is dead and how WWE did that behind the mic or behind the curtain thing on ESPN. He was very upset with that. That's like stuff that he said the fans should not be seeing.
Yeah,
and he just
the sport and the company and just everything in general with wrestling is totally different than it was 10, 15, 20, 50 years ago.
And then he also told us how because him and Triple H have the same initials. Was it PML? For those who don't know, Triple H's name is Paul Levesque. His middle initial is M. So he used to go to he used to get to the hotels and walk in, and it'd be like a suite, and he couldn't figure out why he would get the suite. It was supposed to be for Triple H. So he said Triple H didn't say anything for a long while, and then like once he just popped out of nowhere, and he was like, "Hey, London, how do you like my room?" He said it was like, and he said Kendrick came up and he goes, "Yo, my room don't look like this." He's like, "You got cardio equipment in your living room." He's like, "You have a living room." He's like, "You have a counter with like the GNC supplements and stuff." He was like, "I don't got that." And he said he used to go to shows and sneak into Vince McMahon's office and steal candy out of his candy bowl. He always had a candy bowl in his desk.
Oh my god!
He said he used to smuggle candy out of the candy bowl. So
definitely an interview everybody you want to listen to. I mean, it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, it'll definitely be good. He's a funny guy. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just asked that while we're gone for the next week, that you continue to help control the nitwit population and have your friends spayed or neutered. On behalf of myself and Nick the Beard and JT, wherever the hell you are. And special thanks to Ricky O and JCW, Joe Bellini and Warriors of Wrestling, and RDP Productions and Promotions for giving us the Paul London interview, and Paul London himself. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend, and we'll definitely talk to you soon.